I'm Laura Bush, the editorial director of Spectroscopy, and I'm here today with Rick Russo, the winner of the 2013 Lester W. Strzok Award.
You and your research group at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory pioneered the understanding of laser heating and laser ablation processes and developed nanosecond and femtosecond pulsed laser ablation. What led you to investigate these processes?
Okay, well, the initial interest was just because of the intrigue of using a laser beam to, for lack of a better term, explode something or blow up a little surface. So when you take the pulse laser beam and you shine it on a sample, you can actually create a little tiny spark or plasma or ablation process. And, we recognized early on that this would be a great way of doing direct solid sample chemical analysis instead of having to take the sample and dissolve it.
How did that work benefit atomic spectroscopy?
When we started in the early 80s with laser ablation, it was very imprecise and just was not much interested in it at all because there was no fundamental understanding, and it was mostly empirical, and it was based on lasers at the time, and all that was a perfect storm for not really providing very good analytical chemistry. So we took a step back and decided to start really delving into the fundamentals to try to understand the physics as a way of improving the precision. And over the 30 years, as well as understanding the fundamentals, the lasers also evolved to have much better reproducibility. So with the 30-year effort in both the equipment improving as well as the knowledge, it really led to much better precision, much better reproducibility, and much better accuracy of doing direct solid sample chemical analysis.
Great. You are also known for so many other important developments in atomic spectroscopy, such as inventing the nanowire laser, developing a real-time standoff laser ultrasonic sensor, and co-inventing the ion-assisted pulsed laser deposition and ion texturing processes, among others. What aspect of your work has made you the most proud?
I think the most recent stuff with being able to identify isotope signatures in the laser plasma, the technology that we termed LAMAS for laser ablation, molecular isotope spectroscopy. That's really exciting because now it has the potential for doing isotope measurements at atmospheric pressure and at a distance. Although the others are, I'm pretty impressed with being able to invent or contribute to the invention of the smallest laser back several years ago. But I really am looking forward to seeing where the LAMAS technology goes.
Where do you think that technology might take us?
Well, to the very long vision, long-term sort of hope, I would say I hope to see LAMAS challenge mass spectroscopy in terms of providing very sensitive, very precise isotope ratio measurements. Things we can't do at a distance, we can't do at atmospheric pressure, we can't do it on the planets. Maybe those things will be possible now that we have this new technology.
Fantastic. You studied with Jim Weinfordner at the University of Florida and Gary Hefia at the University of Indiana. What influence did they have on you in terms of your interests, your approach to scientific questions, or your career path?
Both of them completely were the people who got me excited about atomic spectroscopy, analytical laser spectroscopy. I started out as a math major and never found it that challenging. It was easy, but it didn't have the excitement of being able to shine lasers around the room and just be able to understand how lasers can be used in different applications. That both those professors were pioneers in atomic spectroscopy and very good mentors in terms of getting me started.
You started your own company, Applied Spectra. As a research scientist, did you find it hard to take on the role of entrepreneur? And would you recommend that path to other scientists?
I think the answer to both those questions is absolutely. It was an amazing challenge to learn how to start a company after being a purely in an academic environment for 25 years or 24 years before we started Applied Spectra. And the differences in starting a company, running a company are just so different than, being a researcher at a national laboratory or a university. And absolutely, I would recommend it to other scientists because it's a whole new dimension in seeing your technology not just lead to publications and talks at conferences, but also a product that's going to be used in industry or by the government.
Would you have any advice for people who are going to follow that path?
Expect everything. Expect anything. It's a very challenging path. It can be very frustrating, but it can be very rewarding. No different than an analytical career, but just a different hat and a different mindset in terms of what's really important to this person you're interacting with. If it's a program manager interested in fundamental science, that's you talk about the technology. If it's a company and you want to sell a product, it's about the solution. It's not about the technology.
Where do you think laser spectroscopy will take us next?
Well, going back to what I said earlier, I'd love to see the isotope capability really expand on what we can do now. Laser spectroscopy has niche applications and niche markets, but I think that when industry better adapts or better knows about what we can do, I think that we'll see more traction in the different industrial markets.
Fantastic. Well, Rick, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us today.
Okay, you're welcome.